my experiences in post-conflict and conflict settings. Therefore, for me, was also not only a personal experience, but a professional experience as well. In my PhD, I was working on post-war management of refugees and IDPs, seeking ways for the reintegration of minorities, which is one of the main challenges that Myanmar is facing.
I'm one of the 2 fellows who came to Myanmar for this semester to teach at universities there with a Global Teaching Fellowship. Before going to Myanmar, I had very little knowledge about this country. My project is somehow related to Asia, but not Myanmar specifically. Nevertheless, the fellowship offered a very good opportunity to go to the region, to explore it from inside, and to do some work for CEU, but also for my own project. In Myanmar, I stayed for 4 months in Yangon University. I was teaching 2 courses, International Relations of Southeast Asia and Conflict Resolution. The students in Myanmar, although they speak English and are usually very smart, don't have access much to the Western style education or any modern academic literature or information. So their teaching and learning is very much closed in this Myanmar bubble because of course the previous military regime, the country was closed. So for them it's like a very first opening up as well to these new techniques of teaching, new methodologies, new information, new learning experiences, which I think was like the most important experience both for them and for me to teach this kind of students.
Those students with no double settled conditions, because internet is challenging, not everyone has access to technology. They would do everything, even writing their assignments by hand, taking pictures and submitting the assignments that way when they wouldn't have computer.
As we got to know, these were the first ever graduate students of political science after 30 years. So the task that we came with was really responsible.
I have basically in my hands the possibility to share my knowledge and to learn with the students that are going to be shaping the future of Myanmar. I was assuming that when they finish this university, they will have a big responsibility as first-year graduates in the country and as the future leaders. And therefore, I try to develop on them different skills they might need for the job market, but also trying to lead them towards the standards we have in academic speaking universities. They also research their own conflict and they study their own society. And this also allows us to have a critical viewpoint on what is happening in the news and what they read in academic journals and so forth.
They also understand they are the first ever graduate political scientists, and it will be their responsibility to lead their country in a few years. The revolutions were not a long time ago, so you would have people whose families are connected to the military regime, and you would have people whose families are political activists or sometimes coming from political prisoners who are in the same classroom. And you have to somehow respond to that, and sometimes this comes as a challenge because, you know, these are young people, friendships happen, love affairs happen, but this can put a real stumbling block sometimes. So as a teacher, you cannot always solve these problems for them, but it's amazing that you observe even something like this happening in your classroom and you have to deal with it also on an everyday basis. Probably the strongest personal experience that you take away is with local people, especially if you manage to build really friendly, strong connection with them. It's precious, because I was really honored when they invited me to their family parties or they were taking me on pilgrimage together with them. This is where you discover true, real Myanmar, not the one that foreigners see, but how local people see. Of course, in this case, you should also be ready to be open-minded, to trust local people and what they tell you to do. Even sometimes you don't understand why they ask for particular things. So I learned this trick quite quickly, and every time they were suggesting me something, okay, do you want to go there or do you want to try this? I was always agreeing because I also wanted to know more and learn more. And in the end, they gave me this nickname, Professor OK, because I was always saying like okay for everything they were offering, so I became Professor Okay.
I have the pleasure to have this rich life with my students thanks to the fieldwork and the connection we built in. It was a big challenge for them. I was bringing them to areas, they wanted to go to areas that they had never been, and largely Myanmar people don't travel to, and certainly not their families, although some lives in those areas. So it was a mutual stress, in my case, how they will be adapting to that, and on their side is how I will be adapting. But it turned out that they realized that even if I'm not in Myanmar, I could just go alone as one member more of their team. So that was my things I'm always going to take with me. I feel very good seeing that how much they have learned, how much we built a sort of team in the classroom, how much we overcome together these mutual fears of what we are going to work together and how we're going to work together.
Myanmar from Budapest.